Hello everybody and welcome to another top 5 board gaming video. As always, it's the beginning of the month, which means that it's time for upcoming and recently released games that I'm super excited about. But today it's going to be with a little twist because this last month has seemed to converge on me personally, and it has become my own personal FOMO helicopter filled with games, because that's how you can transport games very easily, is by helicopter. So essentially there's a bunch of Kickstarter games that have been up in the last month or so that I have really wanted to back for one reason or another, and so I figured that it would be kind of fun to have my own personal ones listed out there. I've talked about FOMO in the past. You guys know all about it. It's the fear of missing out so that you can get whatever is going to be hot and awesome. And of course I want to hear what you guys have to say. What are your personal FOMO games that are either up now or recently completed? I will say that a good portion of the games by the time this video comes out will be completed, the Kickstarters, but I'm curious for you guys to guess which ones I have backed, because I will admit there's a few of them that I have. So that said, as always, let me know what your personal thoughts are in the comments below, both about FOMO as well as Kickstarter, any games you're looking forward to, and all of that great stuff, because you know I love to hear it all. But that said, we're getting started with my number 5. At number 5, I've got Prosperity. This is an interesting little pun of a game, and it's a very different concept than anything I've ever seen. I've never seen any game that is actually about tea. And the fact is that my wife and her friends and a bunch of other people that we know love tea, and it's kind of cool because it reminds me of Wingspan and some of these other games where they have actual different types of teas and things like that that you're trying to make and grow and develop and get the cards for and all this kind of stuff. The game looks gorgeous. It seems like it's a lot of fun, and mechanically it doesn't seem very boring. It seems like it's got some good mechanics going on behind it, but that said, I'm personally not super excited about it, but still, it's such a unique theme that it's something to consider. Prosperity, my number 5. At number 4, I've got Root. Root is back once again to Kickstarter, and the reason that it's number 4 on this list is because it's only the expansions. Unfortunately, I don't have the base game, but expansions for Root. Root is an amazing game that has asymmetry play, and I absolutely adore that style of play. Not to mention the artistic style is wonderful. The scenarios are amazingly well written. It is just a wonderfully well done game. But the, again, reason that it's low on the list is because in this particular case, they don't offer a tier that gives you the entirety of the game, because I don't have it and it's really tough to get. But still, Root, sorely tempted to get it, and my number 4. At number 3, I've got Catacombs and Castles. Essentially, this is a version 2, and I had never heard of the game until I saw the new version on Kickstarter, and it's a very unique type of game where essentially you've got two teams. You've got the Catacombs team and the Castles team, and it's actually dexterity based. There are not a lot of really good dexterity games out there, and this is one that has actually won a bunch of awards. So I'm super excited to see it, and I'm really curious to learn more about it. I've seen a bunch of reviews, I've read a bunch of reviews. It seems like a great game, and it seems like something that would fit well into my personal collection, simply because I don't have a lot of dexterity games. On top of that, the overall theme of having the good guys and the bad guys and clashing together and all that kind of thing is just a fun thing to see. So, Catacombs and Castles is my number 3. At number 2, I've got Everdell. Everdell is back on Kickstarter, and it has all the things, and that's why it's so high on the list. In this particular case, there is a tier where you can get every single thing related to Everdell, including the brand new expansions that they are releasing with this particular Kickstarter campaign. And again, it's Everdell. What else needs to be said about it? I personally don't own it. I don't own any expansions. I've played it a few times, and I really want to have it in my collection. But the problem is it's really expensive, and it sucks. But that said, it's a great game, wonderful asymmetry, wonderful scenario-driven board game style. I absolutely love it. I've played it a few times, and so it's one of the ones that I'm sorely tempted to get, and why it's so high on the list. Everdell, my number 2. At number 1, I've got Stellaris, Infinite Legacy. You guys have no idea how excited I am about this game. Paradox Interactive is the company that made the original video game Stellaris, and I absolutely adore it. It's what's referred to as a 4X strategy game, which is expansion, extermination, exploration, and something else that I don't remember off the top of my head. But essentially, Paradox Interactive is very famous for making really intensely complex 4X games, and previously they had another Kickstarter for one of their other major games, which is EU4, Europus Universalis 4. And that one still has not been released yet. It's been in Kickstarter / development cycle helicopter for about 2 years now. But essentially Stellaris, for me personally, is the one that really is up and above the rest of it. I have all of the DLC on my computer. I have played many hours on it. I absolutely love it, and I love the fact that it's coming out in a board game form. But because of the past experience with EU4, I'm worried that it will take a long time to get to, but it's Stellaris and I really love it, and I really want to get it, so we'll see what ends up happening. But that said, with all of it, I mean, we've got great theme, we've got mechanics that hopefully fit well with the Stellaris gameplay style. If they can get the 4X down, it would be absolutely wonderful, and it is just the exact type of game that I absolutely adore. So, Stellaris Infinite Legacy, my number one. Well, everybody, that's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video on my personal FOMO helicopter filled with games from the last couple of months that have been on Kickstarter. Again, it's kind of a fun thing because for whatever reason, these all seem to have convalesced into one big giant blob of, hey, Danny, spend all of your money. And I'm like, but I can't spend all my money because I have to buy food and shelter and all of that stuff. And so it's very aggravating. And like I said at the beginning, I'm curious to see if you guys can guess which of these I ended up backing. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and of course let me know what the games are that you are personally FOMOing for whatever reason, and because I'm just curious what you have to say, as always. And of course, any other games that you're looking forward to having either recently been released or are slated to be released soon, put it all in the comments. As always as well, if you haven't done so already, please take a look at my various social media pages where you can interact with myself and my channel in a whole bunch of different fun ways. For those of you that are still dealing with COVID, please stay safe, please stay inside. I actually got very lucky, and I got my first Pfizer vaccine just a couple of weeks ago, so I'm super excited to almost be on my second dose, so I am very thankful for that. I'm very excited, but I am still going to be playing it safe, wearing masks and doing all that kind of stuff. Everybody be well, stay safe, have fun gaming, and I will see you next time.